Relax. Behold.
Thâu đêm để nghĩ suy về em nhiều, thật ra còn những điều làm cho anh không yên được giấc. Bấy lâu ta không nói nhau một câu nào, chờ dòng tin nhắn chờ lại cảm giác như lúc trước. Có phải vì anh vẫn thường vô ý chẳng suy nghĩ vài lần khiến em u sầu? Có phải vì anh chót vài câu nói chạm vào nơi niềm đau mà người luôn chôn giấu? Vài câu nói có khiến người thay đổi, có khiến bờ môi ấm em đây chỉ còn trong nỗi nhớ. Vài câu nói yêu đến màu tối.
The wind rises.
Lúc xưa bên cạnh nhau, mãi đi xa để mình ta trong căn phòng. Nước mắt trong lòng.
Chẳng có sao nước mắt để cho em rơi, dù chẳng có gì đã biết từ nói đến giờ. Sẽ chỉ mang đến để u sầu nằm dấu điều phai màu, chẳng biết ta phải đi về đâu. Giờ thì lời xin lỗi không kịp thời, làm sao khi cảm xúc trong môi rồi. Bao nhiêu lần như thế rồi, không còn cơ hội nào cho anh nữa đâu. Còn thương nhau bấy nhiêu ngày thôi. Tại vì anh vô ý làm em dối chi, làm em nói đi suy để mà người vô tâm nào biết gì.
Có phải vì anh chót vài câu nói chạm vào nơi niềm đau mà người luôn chôn giấu? Vài câu nói có khiến thay đổi, có khiến bờ môi em đây chỉ còn trong nỗi nhớ. Vài câu nói kéo đến màu tối. Lúc xưa mãi đi xa để mình ta trong căn phòng.
Dòng cảm xúc không thể trở về như lúc ta bắt đầu.
Và sẽ như thế bao nhiêu bao lần ngày tháng ở bên với nhau. Phải không nói một đêm đừng làm cứ biết đi quá khứ. I just wanna say I'm sorry.
Anh ơi em đâu dám nói khi con tim em đang bối rối. Những lần mình hẹn nhau, những lần không thành câu, những ngại ngùng buồn vu vơ trong trái tim này, những lần ôm mộng mơ ôi tay nắm tay biết làm gì.
Obey! Do your master's bidding!
As one with wind and cloud.
Coming to art! Submit! Take your true form!
Đừng nói những lời từ chối, em chỉ cần biết tâm tư anh thế thôi.
Em ơi anh đâu dễ dàng nói ra nên lời, rằng trong lòng anh từ lâu cũng thấy rối bời. Nhưng hai ta nên chậm chậm thế thôi em à. Từ thích thích thành yêu yêu rồi thương thương. Ngày anh thấy tim đập nhanh lúc bên em là anh đã biết biết anh chẳng có một đường lui. Thấy từ chạm sáng với ô tô thì gặp em là anh chỉ đủ mà thôi, nên anh đành viết chiếc thư tình thư tình để thầy anh nói hết tâm tư trong mình. Mong em đừng nói những lời từ chối, anh chỉ cần biết tâm tư anh thế thôi.
Tea is ready. Now it's time for a short rest. Okay, let's get going. The next location on my list is really far away.
Take it easy. it easy. good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it. I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Stabilize!
Busted! Here comes the catch! Gotcha! No, my sword! Ring cutter!
I will have order!
The pleasure is all mine.
perfect.
Squall and Fury.
Too slow.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last...
Wait, why is she...
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given person. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything...
Perhaps that's true. You're both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's still one thing that could get between us, lest you've forgotten. The matter of our respective loyalties. You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that.
Well, everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future, too.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine and Lynette feel the same way. Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapped.
Is now really a good...
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary. Also, I'm her brother, remember?
Okay, then let's head...
Take it easy.
Lynette should be here, right? Huh, strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette...
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agree unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here.
Okay.
Take it easy.
There are some books here and a few... Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit. These sure are some interesting... She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems... None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right?
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire...
Ah, this is it!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think could Lynette have tried to get inside? But, let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper.
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or..."
This is...
Is that all? The back. This is...
Show me! Now!
That look on you. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No.
Writhely. Did he...
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why?
Yes, that is a crucial question. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of I'd like to know that too. Don't panic, just think everything over. Wait, you're right. Wait, but the fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds...
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
So he's challenged... We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to... If Writhely let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible...
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. Don't be like this, Lenny! Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please, talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel...
It's not impossible, but it...
Is that so? Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, what a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one?
There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you... Being able to read human
Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Come out and face me!
Aren't we at an administrative office space?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spec. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you...
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and... As for Fremine... No, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's...
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate.
One correction. Lynette is in...
He's not. What do you...
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette, although as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress.
Wait, you locked him outside in this...
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal...
So,
some of my folks just happened to hear I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know you need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with...
You want to see Father?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of...
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face... Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you...
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you... Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. Wait, 2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler!
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small. Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he does. We often see Miss Siegewin. Fonta's internal report suggest. The research notes said that the Melazine race perceived. According to Collins, the Pancration. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. I've been told that the infirmary is always. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't. We often see Miss Siegewin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. Fonta's internal report suggests that the research notes said that the Melazine. According to Collins, the Pancration. We often see Miss. The research notes said that the Melazine race. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Siegewin observing the. Fonta's internal report suggests. According to Collins, the Fonta's internal report. I've been told that the infirmary. We often see Miss.
The hidden rule of the production zone. At first we thought this strange meat must have something. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers, Siegewin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift. Unfortunately, Melazines, the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals, are we on the...
Not bad. You've uncovered Siegewin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring.
I've been told that the infirmary is always. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Siegewin observing the prisoners at work near. Fonta's internal report suggests. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just. The research notes said that the Melazine race. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. Fonta's internal report. The Fonta promoter has been struggling. According to Collins, the Pancration I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be doing during that time? The Fonta promoter has been struggling. I've been told that the infirmary... We often see Miss... According to Collins...
Paimon gets this rule too now! So they're really that hidden rule of the pancreation ring? People get scared when they see it, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet to be a blood-red drink. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided they came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the pancreation tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand, so only those who proved their stupidity.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth, although based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of you'll... Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh,
It was nothing, your girl.
Sijuin?
Though this gun may look like a
Lane.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would...
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lenny someone you should be looking after as well?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything. His Grace knows it too, right?
my dear Sijuin, whatever.
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things...
What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How touching.
Don't be like that, you're...
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sijuin...
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarend. My door.
Renee...
What's going on? What is Clarend doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take...
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have... Please, make some space. I'll need to get...
I'll talk to Clarend while you get Fremine to where he needs to be.
What's that look on your face? I thought...
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived? How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized...
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having some tea.
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Could I tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
Could I tempt you with...
No need.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of... Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary...
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial...
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct...
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak.
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler, Paimon. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's...
Give me a hand and help me get...
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him.
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit.
Could I tempt you with some sugar for your tea?
No need.
Take it easy.
The wind rises.
He's awake! Fremine, how do you...
Linny... Lynette...
We're all here.
Where... am I?
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler... Paimon... It's been so long. The sea! There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. Pipes... Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's... No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared.
Miss Clarande, you said?
You're still too weak for Monet. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande...
A guest? Then I can assume...
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to...
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me. I don't...
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain...
Understood. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and...
Thank you.
Excuse me!
I take it Mr. Fremonet's...
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss...
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande.
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like.
Then Paimon will begin.
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at this. Initially, I thought their goal was just to Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do—
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that the Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the
Are the rumors true?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clorant down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Clorant could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to all I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you—
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case.
Yeah,
Even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
Take it easy.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of— Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, I'm a...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you—
So there's a switch on the side!
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because normally I would have ignored it. But I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so very reasonable guesses. I've considered the temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as over the past few days the needle has moved again. With that and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress,
The concentration of...
and that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial... Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater, the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer... Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird!
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left when the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land. All convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, and with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an... Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an...
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy from proving all too accurate. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us not to...
I'm skeptical as well.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute.
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the Fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm all...
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace,
If I dated her, I'd officially...
Jeez, follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production protection zone that Paimon's never seen.
How much do you know about Fontainian history? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
We're back!
Welcome back.
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me.
Must have been Risley and...
Yeah, I heard one...
I really can't make sense.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn...
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my... Yeah, I took the...
Nobody else is around, and Miss C...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on...
That's Arlen.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the... I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's...
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operation.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father—
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The two of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going, though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger, we will try our best to protect you.
Aw, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm and safe inside. Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
It's time for dinner.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss?
And I'm...
Huh. You're right.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too, don't forget.
No problem. Just leave it to me.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved. What,
Sigewin? Do you do this to help your...
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take...
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so...
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you...
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that... Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only... Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow it.
You were all super...
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least the... Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often. Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked...
So much is... Paimon's super sleepy. Are you... Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Why is everyone running?
No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Uh-huh. Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep. What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, what's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the crack.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought the— Hey! Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come— Yeah, he said to get us far—
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey!
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Take it easy.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure— Will do.
Take it easy.
Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palayman. Are you two the Traveler and Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get... See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are...
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right?
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined. Come here.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know. Oh.
Because,
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter.
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also... Have we entered into the next stage?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury, would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just at—
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought—
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for a peek.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser—
He already has tons of
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be—
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this—
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And
what are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me, yet. Here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating dessert. The prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster, but you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures!
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I'm...
Paimon's coming!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is... That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lenny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her, I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Eudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Eudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Eudex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that
alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether you did... Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet ultimately, though. One must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the... So as expected, the knave has permission granted.
Whoa. It can't... You can't tell us? Then...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history, and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn.
Huh?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right.
You guessed correctly.
Right, there's...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental archons, and...
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient... In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would...
Oh, so even you...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
You're so happy to...
Solidify!
Things are about to get dicey. Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Gowon.
When the sun's out, bathe in sunlight.
Courier? Miss Sijwin told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Junior! Lurmine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though, so don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the...
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get...
Ah, and here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion.
All right, there's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you.
Hey, it wasn't just me.
I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand and...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pet.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to...
Superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Oh, of course, we must also thank you.
How did Nervalet know that he was needed here?
Well, Miss sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level... I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. If you're not too pressed, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles.
Silence!
Now guess.
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's...
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out.
You meant father?
She said a few things that were,
Her attitude towards you is even better than... You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to...
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to
Got it.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay?
Looks like it.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up. Well, next time.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see 2 inmates come back after making...
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything...
We're fine, for the most part. Neverlet...
If that's the case, why don't you just...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the courts of... He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds...
Miss Clorand has left as well.
Where the gifts...
Nervalette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick instead. Well, it's Nervalette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here.
Are these from Sigewinne?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free. Hooray! Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so... Being... Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like, we've now gone to so many places together. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just 2 people, but... You're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as... just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Oh, Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside. We should be safe now. All right then, good night to you, traveler. Paimon has so many questions.
Stabilize!
Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Gotcha. Let me weave you a verse. Huh?
Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
Order guide you.
Game's up. Fun's over. Busted. Quietly now. Huh? Rain cutter. Rain outlines it.
Phew! Higher, higher, hands on fire!
Water comes in